Hi, Ricardo. Welcome to Crosstech Latam 2022. I have the pleasure of interviewing Ricardo, who I've met many years ago in another of our events. And Ricardo is the president of Western Union, the bank, and the broker here in Brazil. So the first thing, Ricardo, is tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, a brief review of your career, so people get to know you better.
Thank you, Hugo. It's a pleasure to be here, to be back in the conferences with you. I truly remember the one in Cuba, a very historic one that
Yes.
we participated. And
2016.
2016,
Yes.
We had just launched the rest of the world to Cuba with Western Union. It was a really important milestone for us, and I
Yes.
truly remember that conference. It was
That was quite an event.
Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I'm the responsible for Western Union here in Brazil today, and I've been 16 years with the company. Started in marketing and basically work throughout all the offices in Latin America. So
Are you Brazilian?
I'm Brazilian.
From São Paulo?
From São
Paulista?
Paulo, yes. Living here now, it's been 5 years again.
Okay.
But I was with Western Union in Argentina, in Panama. I set up the Panama office there together with another person. Worked with really interesting countries. Cuba, I think, was one of the most interesting, but also Dominican Republic, Colombia, all the countries in South America.
That's great.
With Western Union here in Brazil, in the past 4 years, we're really doing a tremendous revolution for the company.
Well, the whole country has changed. I mean, we had the first event in Brazil in 2012, and the change in the market between 2012, where there was a lot of the formal market was huge, and now everything that has happened with PIX and everything. So how do you see the country before we go into I mean, you've seen it as a Brazilian, and I think you should be proud of what this country has done. And I think as an example for the rest of Latin America and even the rest of the world. So how do you see Brazil in terms of payments, money transfers? What's your view?
Yeah, I was always proud of the Brazilian banking system. I think when you live abroad and you start comparing what Brazil had even years ago with our ACH, our payment processes, our boleto, is something that the other countries didn't have much. I think Brazil was ahead already in banking. But when you look at those last 2 years, it's amazing, the transformation.
Yes, it
For
is.
you to have an idea, we were seeing data from the central bank that 3 years ago, there was like barely 40% of the transactions made in digital methods, and today it's 70% of all the transactions, either in internet banking or mobile app. You see the huge growth of digital banks, of payment institutions. So Brazil is a country where the banking revolution is really happening. And I'm really proud to see that in my country. You know, I'm really proud to see that.
No, and you should be. I tell you,
being adopted.
You should be, and you know, because of course you can be proud about soccer, but you need
Not
to be
anymore.
proud about it. No. This year is going to be good. You'll see. But anyway, tell me. So, how does Western Union manages those transformations, because it's you know, as a main player in the money transfer market, a company needs to adjust to those changes. How do you see that? I mean, because this has happened under your command, let's say. How do you see it?
Yeah, and again, coming back to Brazil, I see Western Union needs to be ready in every channel that the customer wants to be.
Okay.
It's not that you know, you need to provide a channel and perhaps the customer will use this channel. No, the customer comes first. So Western Union in 2008 we launched digital here in Brazil. The
2018.
Sorry,
Okay.
Yeah, 18. We launched the digital app here in Brazil, and it's a huge success. It's a huge success. We're seeing new customers coming, customers really happy with the customer experience.
And this is on the receiving or on the sending side? On the sending side.
The sending side and the
Yes.
receiving into accounts, right? Directly from
Yes,
other
okay.
countries into accounts,
Yes.
which is a main product for us as well. But in terms of sending, like how easy it is for you to just prepare a transaction in the app, make a deposit, and in minutes, the other person receives the transaction in the other side of the world. And on the other hand, we are also seeing that there are some customers that are still in the traditional channels. There are some customers that are still
Yes.
in the locations,
Of course.
in our network and so on. So I think
So you have the customers that go to your offices and use cash to send.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And I think the beauty of what's happening in the past years with the digital transformation is that we are allowing the customer to choose. And
Can they go to a branch and do a PIX transaction with the branch?
we are about to implement that.
Yes?
So
Okay.
yes, this year we are implementing cards payment and also PIX in the locations.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but customers can pay through bank deposit. They can make the transaction by phone and then pay through bank deposit
Okay.
directly into the app. So there are several channels that, depending on which kind of customer, the customer can choose.
And of course, the more Brazil gets migrants to come to I mean, because it's happening. I mean, it's amazing how Brazil has absorbed, migrants from not only the usual places like Paraguay, Bolivia, you see Colombia, Venezuela. I mean, it's happening. Even Africans. I mean, Senegal, and it's so I guess, and they can send money through their countries using the app. Basically, it's the same offering that you have in other countries.
No, not in other countries. We are rolling out the digital product. So today, in the majority of the countries, the digital product is already available.
Okay.
But here in Brazil, yes, they can send through the app. They can send through a location, and we see the diaspora happening in Brazil. I think
They have the all Western Union worldwide network.
They do. It's the same product.
It's the same product.
So
That's what I mean.
imagine the same product that they have in the location, they have in the app. So they can send money in the app directly to a bank account. In more than 70 countries, more than 4 billion bank accounts, we can send the money, 4 billion with a B. And they can send to locations, to more than 500,000 locations around the world.
Yes.
With the app and in the locations in our channels.
Now, you told me when I introduced you, you were president of both the bank and the
Broker.
La Corretora.
The Corretora de Cambio.
De Cambio.
Yeah.
Why those two entities? Explain to me not in a very, you don't have to go deep into the regulatory side, but it is a strategic decision, or is a regulatory decision? Is mostly why?
It's a decision that enables us to operate directly, and then to enable more channels.
Okay.
Because in Brazil, as you need to be a financial institution to operate the service, I could not, if Western Union was not a broker, it could not sign like a supermarket network, for example,
right.
or it could not operate directly its app. So the decision of taking the licenses of both the bank and the broker was
able to expand.
Very strategic on the expansion. It was key on the expansion. It was key on channel expansion, and it was key in the control of our business.
Okay, all right. And so this is mostly P2P, person to person transfers.
Yeah.
The business side is offered in Brazil? No. The B2B? No.
The business is not offered in Brazil, and actually it's public already that Western Union took the decision of divesting in Western Union Business Solutions business.
Okay.
So it's really focused on C2C.
On
And we also, in Brazil, we have currency exchange. So people can come
Okay.
to our locations. We have almost 70 locations around the country.
70
And
locations is your own
Own
branches?
locations, own branches with own people. We have 300 employees
Which
here
is
in
not
Brazil.
usual for Western Union as a company.
Not usual as a company. We usually work with master agents,
Yes.
right? So Brazil is a country that's that our business is very hybrid.
Yes.
Because
and
we have
and
our
it's
own app.
adapted to the country in
It's
a
adapted to the
very
country.
interesting way.
We have the app, we have the own locations, and we have the agents
Yes.
as well, which are quite important for us in the network. So Brazil is what we call a jabuticaba, which is a fruit that only grows here in Brazil, and it's very unique.
And do you do bill payments too?
Not in Brazil. In other countries, yes.
Yes.
So in Argentina, for example, Western Union owns Pago Fácil,
Yes.
which is
yeah.
the most important billing company there, bill payment company there.
But it could be done as a partnership with...
It could be done as a partnership. It could be done with our bank license as well. So I think Brazil is a country where we can keep expanding. There are
yes.
lots of opportunities.
Well,
there for us.
you know, really, thank you very much, and it's very interesting. You know, COVID was quite an experience for everyone, and I think that the companies that were prepared for what happened, nobody was really prepared. But I mean, it's a company that was able to adapt because of the many channels it offered. Correct?
Indeed. And the good thing is that we were prepared. The app was launched 2 years ago, so we had already more than the minimum viable product in place when COVID happened. So for us, it was these steps that were taken before, they were extremely important when COVID crisis hit us.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Ricardo.
It's a pleasure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep on growing.
Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you. Bye.